Hi, this is Pigsy, doing another video. Just a quick thoughts. I guess I should be checking out which Hindu god I should come underneath. I seem to find it interesting. Hinduism like something a calling, and I think I should just have a little look. Sometimes I see like Kali and Shiva. And I also know that spiritually there's different versions of religions in other dimensions as well. Like the jinn are not, they have interest in different earth-based religions, but they may have their own version. Like a dark Buddhism, it's about purity of self, but it might be sort of an expansion of awareness and understanding others to understand yourself. Sort of other things, features in there that would be different, but isn't actually so much in the way of karma. There may be a way connected to higher levels, depending on their understanding. It's not something I've really meditated. I just see this cave under the ground, and the Buddha was black, so it's made of obsidian, I think, and it had a red ruby on its forehead, and I think that's kind of it's accumulating its power. That's what it is. So it's kind of a darker version altogether of Buddhism, but it's not necessarily not preaching evil or anything. It's not dark. It's just different. That simply is. Different cultures, different ways. And in most religions, it's a mixture of positive and negative. You know, even in Buddhism, there's something about you find a fake Buddha on the road, kill him or something. You know, that kind of hostility there. I think it's not a good thing to preach. But I think it's more of a warning. So, other things I was just thinking about, thoughts that come to mind. Not that this affects me at all, but if somebody say you fell out when they blocked you, what they're doing is they're blocking, or they might just block you out for whatever reason. They're blocking out the person you are in the current timeline. But if you become a different person, then that door may open again. So that's the other thing. Somebody sees you in a different light, and that might be a transformation of your image. Possibly a transformation of your property as well, where you live, what you look like, how you think, what you do spiritually. You know, to get it all moving, and become a different person. Become that person doesn't need them. That's the person. They would have known I'd come off at this point. No, yeah. So definitely be that person you desire to be the most. You know, the best version of yourself. Spiritually, you've got to understand the dark side of you though. You've got to play with that as well. You've got to get that out and see what it's all about. And especially if you've got dark thoughts come to the surface. I mean, they're basically that's like your core shield, defense system. You know, if this person did this, that would be, you know, you could do that, but you think, well, I wouldn't do that. That's just crazy, you know, and stuff like that. You know, so I'm not saying I've got any dark thoughts. I mean, I've had things that have floated to the surface, and you just look at them, you can laugh them off, or just think that's just crazy. But then you know that's a part of the healing process. You don't turn around and say to yourself, well, that means I must do that, or must think like that, or I'm dark, or I'm this or that. It's just a part of a small aspect of yourself as a defense mechanism. And then you just move past that stuff. So yeah, definitely get yourself healthy and mixing and mingling, and spiritually growing in yourself as well. So and also finding that place in your heart. I mean, it's like I've mentioned about this yoga, right? It's that kind of stillness, and there's an emptiness. So I can close my eyes and see nothing, and think of nothing. I can sense where my heart is, and I sense where my chakras are, and that might be the next project, reaching out to the other chakras in your body and then connecting them up, linking them up like they're it's a dot-to-dot puzzle, and then start developing spiritually. So that's another way of changing you, is just to reach into that spiritual side of you, because they won't just bring you a bit of inner peace. They're attached. You get connected to higher knowledges as well, because you've got to be worthy to receive. It's not just I'm ready for it. You know, if you want to get into the angelic stuff and so on, and you've got to, and the same with a relationship on Earth, relationship in a higher parallels and other dimensions. You've got to reach out, and you've got to know what you're reaching with. This is why things with, if people are quite immature with spiritual tools, like Ouija board and other things, tarot cards, crystals, whatever, if they're not really mature about it, until they know the entity, they shouldn't assume anything. And then they can work with that entity, reach out, learn stuff. If you find yourself learning from things, then there's a deeper spiritual understanding. But if you kind of take a back step, then obviously it's not as great as you think it is, I guess. That's something to think about. And that's possibly what I do with going back to the Hinduism, as I connect and then meditate on something. There's many routes to spirituality. I could create some organ, and I could make it as a kind of a binding. So I could put some. Basically like doing a spell. So I put my hair in it, and I put metals. I put all positive energy into this organ. And then I put things to spiritually connect with a culture in there, sacred symbols and stuff like that. And so I infused this thing with energy, and then after it's created, I hold it and I focus my consciousness into it as it's forming. And you can put you can do hold a ball of energy around it, and as it forms, it will add that to it. It matrix. Or matrices, if you want a more feminine version of the word. Yeah, so as it sets, then you've got that energy, you've got that connection. You can do other things, you can add people you care about to it, but it might not work out. If you fall out with someone, well, it doesn't really matter, to be honest, because how it works is that moment in time, there's a connection. It's like the doorway. And if things change that person, not unless they're poisoning you emotionally and psychologically, you isn't really a reason to remove that. So it's something you shouldn't take lightly, and you should also, it's something you might keep private. People won't need to know what's in your organ. They just say, oh, it's a lovely pyramid, it's a lovely resin shape, or whatever. But this is in a different. This is more into stroke. So it goes into what they call witchcraft, but Vodun and some other cultural things. So it's basically applied magic, and chaos magic may be in there as well, and some other different things, and some elemental magic. And so it's a craft. It's a multi-craft, basically. And people obviously think you're dabbling with things, it's it's bad, it's whatever, because that's the way they think. If you're putting everything nice that you're attached to, connected to, why would that be evil? And also, evil's just this thing that's a part of the Hebrew Renaissance, where seems to have got it meshed into other religions. And they believe there's good and there's evil, and there's a constant war, and there's the devil, and there's the angels, and they separate the things out into these things, but they don't realise they all work together. It's a hierarchy structure that they don't understand, and it's a kind of karmic cycle of recycling. and so someone has to deal with the trash basically and turn it around and grow it into flowers and stuff like that. So it's got to go for a whole cycle, and this earth isn't just ours, it exists in the heavens, and that's really what it's about. And I guess really, the spiritually stronger we become, the more the planet can develop as well. And if you connect to things at higher levels, you can integrate your consciousness with them and bring it into a new era. And I think that's what people are trying to do. And the cracks in the wall appear, and there's star seeds, and there's indigo children, there's crystal children. They have to remember that there's also this network of people trying to control as well. Big sign off.